The story you are about to hear are true events, happened in plain sight on your street, most often time when no one is looking. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these 3 stories specially curated for you. Yes, you.
Consider liking this video, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you will be the first to get notified when we upload new stories.
One more thing, my friend. Tell us in the comment below where you are listening from.
Story 1. As I sat down near this fireplace, I could vividly recall these 3 events that happened late October last year, and the nightmares memories it left with me, in what I could only describe as horrifying. The night was ink black, and the rain relentlessly battered my windshield as I drove through the forsaken stretch of highway. Exhaustion clawed at me, pulling my eyelids heavy, but I couldn't stop. It was a 7-hour drive to reach my destination, and there was no turning back now. Somewhere between the howling wind and the rhythmic drumming of raindrops, I saw the pale glow of a flickering neon sign emerge from the darkness. Eternal Rest Motel. It appeared as if a relic from the past, a remnant of a time long forgotten. With no other options in sight, I hesitated before making the decision to pull into its dimly lit parking lot. The motel looked abandoned, windows shattered and doors swinging in the fierce gales. The flickering neon sign had promised refuge, but the sight of it sent shivers down my spine. Swallowing my apprehension, I stepped out of my car and approached the front desk. A skeletal figure, clad in tattered clothes, emerged from the shadows. The motel's manager, or what remained of him, was a gaunt man with sunken eyes, his face etched with sorrow. He mumbled, "Room for the night?" And I nodded. The room he handed me was bleak, with peeling wallpaper and a foul stench that clung to the air. I decided to lock the door, slide a chair under the knob, and tried to ignore the eerie wails that seemed to emanate from the corridor outside. Hours passed, but sleep eluded me. Just as I began to drift into a restless slumber, the room plunged into darkness. The power had gone out, and panic seized me. Fumbling for my phone, I used its dim light to find my way to the door, and then something made me freeze. In the doorway stood a shadowy figure, contorted and ghastly. It whispered a mournful plea. "Please, help me." Before dissipating into the ether, I was trapped in a nightmare. Consider liking this video, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you will be the first to get notified when we upload new stories. Story 2. As I cruised down the desolate highway, my fingers clenched around the steering wheel, my knuckles pale. The night was draped in obsidian, the road an abyss under my tires. Solitude cloaked the surroundings, but I felt the eyes on me. Sinister, unrelenting. An ominous sensation clenched my chest when I noticed a pair of headlights in my rearview mirror, eerily close behind the trailer. Yet when I glanced into the side mirror, the tailgating car vanished into the void, obscured by the blind spot. A chill swept through me as I tapped my brakes, signaling for them to pass. Instead, they clung to my bumper, daringly close. Anxiety surged. If I braked suddenly, they'd collide with my truck. Desperate to escape this sinister pursuer, I checked the upcoming exits, praying for respite. 15 miles seemed an eternity. Finally, the glowing sign for a rest area shimmered ahead. A beacon of salvation. But the unseen car shadowed my every move, following me. My heart raced as I pulled into the truck stop. the car trailing behind, veiled in darkness. I watched from the cab as the car remained inches from my trailer, invisible in the night. My unease escalated, and I ventured outside, inching closer to my stalker. Peering around the trailer, I glimpsed an old, decrepit sedan, its lights extinguished. Before I could react, the car jolted in reverse and vanished into the night. I rushed back into the cab, my mind spinning. I dodged a sinister fate, and with trembling hands I secured the locks. The highway had never felt so haunting, but I drove home, my heart a relentless drumbeat. Years later, the sensation lingers, a lurking dread in the dark. It reminds me of the malevolence hidden on desolate highways at night. Those sinister eyes may be watching, waiting in the shadows. Consider liking this video, click the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you will be the first to get notified when we upload new stories. Story 3. On that scorching summer night, my friends and I ventured into the city for a concert, unaware of the horrors that awaited us. The venue, nestled in a perilous neighborhood, was throbbing with anticipation. We felt invincible amidst the crowds. Hours flew by, lost in music and ecstasy. But as the final note reverberated, our euphoria turned to dread. For the road home was fraught with peril. The gridlocked parking lot became our cage, and a nightmarish ordeal loomed. Desperation gnawed at us until John suggested an escape route through dimly lit neighborhoods. The mood grew eerie. Shadows whispered secrets of the night. Ominously, there were no other cars in sight. Tammy's voice trembled. Why are there no other cars around? Fear clung to her words. The empty streets grew more sinister as we advanced. Take a left here. We'll find the highway, Sean directed. But as we turned, a sedan barricaded our path, and another blocked our retreat. Panic clawed at our throats. Two menacing figures emerged from the darkness, eyes fixed on us. Their inquisition was menacing. Where are you headed? They demanded answers, their intentions dark. Fear paralyzed me. But we managed to reverse, breaking free from the trap. The neighborhood swallowed our tormentors, and we rejoined the concert traffic, our hearts heavy. We escaped, but the sinister neighborhood remains etched in our memories. A reminder of the darkness lurking behind unfamiliar streets. We were too close to the abyss that night, and now we remain vigilant, knowing the malevolence that lurks in the shadows, hidden from the world's gaze.